it's Raquel on Recovery to Wellness. Welcome back to my channel. I have a special sort of video that I want to make right now because I've been stewing about it and thinking about this video topic idea since about yesterday. It's currently January 26, 2023, and I just really want to capture kind of some of my thoughts and get this out, like at least filmed wise, and then I'll worry about editing and uploading it in the next couple of weeks or so. So this video, I'm going to talk about like suicide prevention awareness, particularly USA, local, national hotlines and information and such. And I won't talk like methods or anything. I'm going to talk about kind of like when suicide, like the context of like suicidal crises and online experiences, and like what my expectations are, and like I want to clear the air a little bit, and also maybe reassure a little bit too that, like, you know, it probably wouldn't happen on YouTube regarding myself, but if it did, I want to say what I want to say about what the expectation, I guess, would be for me from you, and back and forth in a sense. So okay. So I would say, if you don't know, hi, I'm Raquel. I have had this channel since about the end of 2016, and I've been active on and off. I think I would say in the pandemic in 2020, I got more creative with my channel and got I finally unlocked the video ideas, and it's been a wonderful progression since then. I've done tons of different videos. I have tons of things. I talk a lot. I'm a very avid talker. I talk a lot. I write a lot. Like, I'm a lot. So there's that. But between 2015 and 2018, I was hospitalized 12 times psychiatrically. And I live with borderline personality disorder, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, on self-harm and suicide obsessions, with perfectionism and hoarding and avoidance and all this kind of stuff, and depression and hair pulling, skin picking. I have been a patient now 13 times, in a psych hospital setting. I now work at a psych hospital setting. I love my job. I love rainbows and lighthouses. I love lighthouses. I love like the symbolism of lighthouses. I love all the things lighthouses, and rainbow lighthouses are like a thing. Like, if the base of a lighthouse is just white or white and red, the rainbow lighthouse to me is like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, and that is the lighthouse. And if I was ever able to actually either commission someone for like a digital version of a rainbow lighthouse, that would be my logo for Recovery to Wellness. That has always been the logo idea for it, and I've only ever done it traditionally in art rather than digitally. So if you ever know someone and you wanna, like, we're gonna like work something out, that would be amazing and awesome and fantastic. But that aside, I also have 4 main recovery art projects that I'm most certainly hoping to unveil and make prototypes for, and really push myself to do stuff with it this year, and kind of get involved in that in some way, and, you know, work on it through work kind of stuff. And I got an award for work recently. I haven't actually received it yet, but I was nominated for an award and I'm receiving one. So, you know, in my professional life, I'm soaring, and, you know, like, things are good overall now, which is also different than how they were about a month ago. So again, we're going to talk a little bit about suicide prevention and just kind of awareness, and I just want to talk about something that I feel like is honestly an unpopular opinion for a mental health advocate online, but I'm going to share it anyway. And so the main thing, I guess, is between 2015, I guess maybe 2017 was when I made Twitter, but from 2015 to 2018, there was a section of my life and my recovery, on and off online on different websites, where I was, you know, I guess I was just going through a hard time, and I was often actively suicidal online, honestly. Let's be fair, right? Like, I used to use the internet as an inappropriate crisis space, which is why I believe that the internet is an inappropriate crisis space. It's because of I've genuinely used it like that before, and it never really worked out for me, in the sense that I never really you know, I never got like hundreds of messages, or it never really blew up or anything, and I never like got like resources called on me or anything like that. Which I think in some way, if I was saying that out loud on the internet, I maybe was expecting, in some fashion, I was kind of expecting or hoping for that in a sense. Same with that is if I've been publicly crying in public, in a sense, I've only had maybe 5 to 10 experiences where someone approaches me in that situation. A lot more people tend to just walk away or not know what to do. I mean, and that's not, it's complicated with, particularly with suicidality, it's complicated because it's like, is that the responsibility of the public? Is that the responsibility of the internet to try to save someone from themselves? I don't know. It's complicated. It's a very complicated situation, which is again this idea that I'm having where we have to understand a few things first. So what you need to know is that a suicidal crisis is a psychiatric emergency. That's an emergency. Like, that is no different than if someone is having symptoms of a heart attack and they have to go to the ER. Like, you wouldn't just tell someone with a heart attack, oh, get over it, it's just in your head or whatever. Like, you would bring them to the hospital or something. Like, the same thing with suicidality. It's like, if you have reason to believe, and you have, like, factual reason to believe that this person is in danger of hurting themselves or other people, or if there's abuse happening for children or the elderly, those are situations where it is 100% valid to break confidentiality and get them help, in a sense. So, like, if you told a therapist, like, if I went, let's just play for instance, right? If I told a therapist and I said I had a plan, I had like a suicide method, I had a specific time, I had a like date, like if it was something I was gonna do, something I was going to act on today or tomorrow, right? Like, something in the imminent future, especially if I had previous attempts, or I had previous hospitalizations, or I had started to give away possessions, or if I had started to, you know, write like suicide letters or notes, or you know, if I'm having extreme mood swings, or I'm going from really depressed to really calm and happy, like, all those are warning signs. All those, especially some of those things are behavior, some of those things are actions, and actions and thoughts are not the same thing. Thoughts are thoughts, but actions are not. The actions are totally different. So that would be reason enough for my therapist, and it has been in the past. This happened quite often, obviously, for me. That is reason enough for my therapist to be like, okay, you need to go to the ER and get assessed. You need to get a crisis evaluation, and based on that, they'll, you know, maybe send you inpatient, or they'll figure out something else. Because I've heard, I live in Massachusetts, I have heard instances where people go to the ER and are like genuinely suicidal and like don't get hospitalized and they get released. And I've heard the sad cases and the tragic cases of when that has happened to some people and they actually do end up completing suicide, which is fucked up on so many levels. Personally, for me, 100% of the time, I never walk out of a crisis eval. I always get hospitalized. Like, 100%. I have a zero, like, I have a 100% success rate of getting hospitalized. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like, it's probably gonna be like that for the dawn of time, so I don't know. But, like, so for me, like, if I did that, right, if I had these signs, I had these warning signs, I had these actions that I was making, I was starting to prepare, I was starting to do those things, that is reasonable enough information for my therapist, whoever's talking to me, whatever, to call 911. Call, in the US, call 988, or text 988. 988 is now the suicide prevention crisis lifeline, mental health emergency, like, number to call. Just the same as 911 is for, you know, other emergencies. 988 is for, you can still call it 911 too, but like 988 is for mental health stuff. Or you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. That will also always remain in effect, so that's also that. But that would be like the appropriate response in that situation. If I'm saying that I'm joking about hurting myself, if I'm talking a lot about death or suicide and stuff like that, if I'm watching a lot of content, I'm trying to search methods online, that is all reason enough to call 911, call 988, call a National Suicide, drive me to the ER, like, you know, all those kinds of things. So that's kind of like, all of this is to preface, in a sense, that I want it to be known that, at least for me, how do I want to say this? I'm listening to other things happening in the house, but I'm trying to, like, make sure, like, no one else hears me when I'm talking, but I think, so I've used the internet, I said before, I used the internet before as an inappropriate crisis space. I use mainly Twitter, my old Twitter, which I have abandoned, but Twitter, WordPress, my blog, DeviantArt at times, mainly those. YouTube, I think. YouTube, I am far more likely to, like, if I was upset, like, I have done this before. I have filmed myself when I was not like suicidal, but I was feeling like, just having urges to self-harm, in a sense, to scratch myself, which I haven't done in 5 years. But if I was having urges, I might film a video, because for me, at least, even though you're not physically with me right now when I'm filming this, like, just knowing that someone might see this later, like, watch it later, gives me enough accountability that I'm like, oh, okay, I won't act on scratching myself. I won't. Sometimes, there's been times I do hair pull or skin pick a little bit on camera, where I start to just kind of graze the area, but then I'm like, oh wait, I'm filming, I have to stop. But predominantly, it gives me enough accountability where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. So there's a safety, in a sense, with it, in a way, that, like, I will not act in that. I will not act on a thought while I'm filming myself. So in some instances, I have used it as, like, a coping skill, in a way. And, you know, a big part of my channel in 2017, and I mentioned this in another video, I think, is that kind of, like, I want to try to work more on, like, using videos as a coping skill, in the sense of, like, creating a video where it's, like, an art thing, or, like, something that can help not only me to go back to and watch, but maybe other people can go back and watch, and, you know, just things like that. And I want to do a whole bunch of other stuff on my channel, but that's besides the point. But anywho, so, where was I going? Where was that thought going? It's far more likely on YouTube, specifically, that I would probably film, if I was near crisis or in crisis, I would probably film it, let's say I filmed it in January, right? It's way more likely that I would later edit that video in, like, June, and then maybe upload it then, or, like, I would even wait, like, a whole ass year before I ever edited and uploaded it. So, specifically for me on YouTube, it's very unlikely that I would be actively suicidal and film it, edit it, upload it within the same time frame that it's actually happening in. So, I mean, in that sense, that's good. I don't think we'll ever run into that situation. However, if we ever did, I want to say right now that, first of all, please don't dox me. Please do not, like, find where I live, or, you know, release information, or things like that. Like, please don't do that. Like, I would very much appreciate you not doing that. If you ever felt, though, that I was actively suicidal and I was actively going to try to end my life, and you were very concerned about that, and you had reason enough to believe in actual, like, evidence from, like, me talking about it, or, like, you know, posting about it somewhere, or whatever it might be, if you genuinely felt that I was a danger to myself, I want you to know that that is an appropriate time for you to call 911, or call 988, or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, or use the crisis text line, or any of those things, because that, again, suicidality, suicidal crises, are psychiatric emergencies, and that is an emergency, and you need to treat it as such. So, will I be happy about it? No. Will it be traumatic? Potentially. And at the same time, I want to say right now that if you ever felt that, you ever felt to that degree, that severity, that is appropriate for you to reach out and do something about it. Like, because it is so much better to have an angry friend, or an angry follower, I guess, or an angry leader, and I don't know, an angry, like, viewer, I don't know. Like, it's so much better to have an angry person at you than a dead person. If there's something that you can do, I firmly believe that if there's something I can do in situations like that, I'm going to do everything in my power, because doing nothing isn't worth it. And even if you call, like, a crisis team, or you call, like, 911 or 988 or the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline or this crisis text line, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will send someone out. They may go through their own sort of, you know, protocol and, like, you know, bureaucracy of it, and maybe decide, yes, to look into it, or maybe not, you know, who knows. So, I think though ultimately, like if you felt that you were in that position, or that I put you in that position, I want you to know that that is okay for you to try to do everything you can to ultimately keep me safe. And I would want you to do it because that is an unsafe situation. Hypothetically, that is an unsafe situation. That is something that requires further action and further advocacy and further like appropriate help. And also too, not only would that be a trauma for like, it would be traumatic to hear me talk about that and have those signs and have those issues. It's also a trauma for you because now you have been I have now placed you in a position for you to feel responsible for my safety, and that is not okay. And that is not something that I take lightly, and I may not be happy that you did it if you ever did it, right? I may not be happy throwing a party for it, but like, I would appreciate it, and I would say, yes, that is what needed to be done. And again, I don't think it's gonna happen on YouTube, personally. I think I don't think it would happen. But if it ever did, I'm not going to like vilify you or villainize you for it. I'm not gonna be like, fuck you for doing that. No, because that was an emergency, and you did what you needed to do. And like, because it is very, in the extreme case of suicidality, it is very important, and it shouldn't just be brushed aside, or not spoken about, or not really addressed in a sense. So I just want that to be clear. Like, I'm not going to like be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, or why did you do that, or like be angry about it with you. Like, I might be upset for sure. And also, the other stipulation I want to add is, if you also felt like that in the situation, right? Like, let's say I had said something, or I was doing something, I was acting in a way or behaving in a way that was different than usual, or was concerning for you, that you thought I might be suicidal and I was going to actively try to end my life. Talk to me about it first. If the video, if it is in the actual chronological, like this is happening in real time kind of thing, reach out to me in a variety of fashions. Honestly, you can email me, you can like message me like publicly on YouTube, on Reddit, on Twitter or Instagram. Like, probably Instagram would be better because I don't go on Twitter anymore. Or like through my blog, or whatever. Like try to wait until I actually respond back to you, because if I don't respond in 10 hours, it might be because I'm either sleeping or I'm at work. So give it like 24 hours before you fully, unless you really think, like, you genuinely are like, I genuinely am fearful that Raquel is not okay, and like, I think she's going to do something now. Like, I would say, like, try to give it 24 hours, but if it is that intense and troubling, do what you need to do. Hands down, do what you need to do. And again, I think part of my hesitancy of this kind of video is that, what if someone tries to dox me? What if someone tries to just, fuck around and just, make false reports or swat me or whatever? That is certainly a concern. However, I think at the same time, this concern is more prominent and more important than, I think in some aspects. I'm already radically accepting that this could happen, maybe, I don't know, I can't predict the future kind of thing, and if it ever did, I want you to know that you need to do what you need to do, and if that had to happen, then that has to happen. Like, do what you think is right, and if you have reasonable evidence for it, if you have, my saying it or writing it or whatever, like, do that, please. Like, I would apologize profusely, I think, too. Even in advance, I'm apologizing profusely, because I don't want to ever put you guys in that position where you feel that you have to do that, because that is a trauma in itself, and I have done that before in some suicidal crises and such, and that was not fair, it wasn't cool, it wasn't good, it was a dick move, pretty much, it was a dick move. So, that is some regrets I have, but, yeah, that's pretty much this video. I just wanted to get that out there. Like, I've been thinking about it for a while, and there's reasons I'm talking about it now, from other situations, and I've I've been in that situation before where I felt like it was the responsibility of someone else's life was on my shoulders, and it's not cool, it's not appropriate online, and it's not good. But I get it. So that's this video. I'm just gonna end it here, and thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. I know I was kind of like rapid firing at you kind of thing, because I was like anxious and like I just want to get this video out and done, and so I did. But I probably won't edit or upload it within at least 2 weeks or so. Update, I guess, if you want to know a little bit more, because I kind of talked a little bit about myself already. I am probably going to go back to my day program that I went to before Passages, so that'll actually probably overall be good, but it might mean that I have less videos out in the next month to 2 months, just so we're aware. Like February and March, because I might be so focused on that, and then so much of my time going into that, I'm just being kind of burnt out, and maybe I'll do more creative videos instead. I was actually thinking about, I have a wood R that I got, that my mom got me at, I think at like Joann's or something, and I want to paint it like white, and then it's probably going to take a few coats to paint it white, but then also do like rainbow stuff on it. I think that'd be so cool. So I want to do more creative kind of videos in the future, and like just like art time lapses, and just also like filming photography videos and all of that. We haven't gotten a really good snowstorm yet, and I really hope we do before winter ends, because I want to go sledding like so bad. But thank you so much for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for being here, and above all, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself in any one small or big way today, and do something nice for yourself, because you deserve it, and your life matters, and you're important, and I want you to be here, honestly. Because who knows, maybe tomorrow could be different, maybe a year from now could be different, maybe 6 months from now. Maybe your story could be something that helps someone else in the future. Not only could you impact the people that you know right now, but who are the thousands of other people that you could help positively in a new fashion? You know, who are the people that you have yet to meet that you could impact for the better? And when life gets hard, just kind of cling to that. Find your why for recovery. Find your reason to stay alive and hold on to hope, and get through it. And you know, crises are time sensitive, so they will pass. They might come back, but they will pass, and recovery is worth it, and it does get better. So that's what I have to say. So thank you so much, and if you want to stay tuned to my rambles, feel free to subscribe or like the video, and I'll get new content out in the coming while. So yeah, thank you so much, and as always, stay safe, take care, be well. Much love and light to you. Thank you so much. Bye.
I can see a lighthouse through the smoke. Everything is lost, I know.